welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another podcast. This time you might notice that Karth looks a little bit different, and that's because he's not here, he's ill. Poor Karth. Thoughts and prayers and all that. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah.
Well, you may not notice because it's a podcast, but he's going to sound different.
He will sound a heck of a lot different, you know? But you can also, tell by his voice that he's at least 10 times prettier because Mr. Ranger J is joining us today.
I'm great to have me. I have a lot to talk about today on Swuggo Talk with the Ribes. What is it? The Ribes?
Yes.
Tribes.
That's the one. It's the one.
Tribbles.
Precisely.
Nobody knows tribes better than me. Tremendously knowledgeable of tribal stuff.
Oh, my days. This is the MAGA podcast, apparently.
Yes, tremendous day for me.
Make
tribes great again.
Boy.
the massive.
Yes, the first thing we're going to do is build a wall around CG, and we're all going to pay for it. Wait a minute, that's wrong. Oh, snarky. Mexico, we'll have Mexico pay for it.
Yeah, well, exactly, because the rest of us are broke, I guess. So, ladies and gentlemen,
we spent enough this last couple weeks for the product we've been getting. Good God in heaven!
Oh man, yeah.
Hell
of an intro to the Swuggo Talk. Yeah.
As a non-American, could you shed some light on that? Because I don't know what's going on.
Well, you know, Scribe. We have this thing called business in the United States. In a business, customers pay money for a product, and they have, I don't know, certain expectations, like it'll be good.
I just walk into places and walk out with stuff.
The case. Yeah.
I just want it to function. Screw good. I want it to function. It's really become like a running joke at this point. The bugs on releases are a rule rather than the exception, and it's like I don't know whether to laugh or cry, and it's a combination of both.
Hey man, I mean, there was no bugs with the new Marauder, right? Yeah, that came out flawlessly. Yeah,
totally, without a doubt. Totally not killing everything due to
It confuses me no end. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to see it. The Marauder is a cool ship. It's a cool ship. I think they've animated it really well. Looks really cool. Wanted it in the game anyway. Bad Batch, a great faction. Who doesn't want it in? But then when it comes in, and at 4 stars, it's just like one-shotting everything. You're like, oh, okay. I guess this is the world we live in now.
So you just did zero testing then, or no?
It's been like this. Yeah. It's been one thing after the other. I mean, it's laughable now. It's infuriating, but it's laughable because it's like Leviathan broke. Then we had Gialea event broke. ISC broke. Conquest broke. Like, come on, man. Like, just the simple things we ask for. I mean, was being a little cheeky, but he's not wrong. It's like, just work. I'm not asking for anything. I just want it to work,
I think you doth protest too much. We can't have a game and also have it work as well, Ranger. One or the other, all right? It's not like you do this for fun, okay?
I apologize,
Yeah.
Fine. What is that? Because I can tell you I'm not enjoying Conquest right now. God almighty. What a...
I'm okay now with Conquest. I've reached the point now where I've just got a couple of global feats, and I need to get 5 more wins with Tusken in Sector 4 or something, and I'm just burning through all my Moff Gideon consumables to do it. Like, I don't have loads of investment in my Tusken like Wolf does. I've got 2 relics, and the rest are like Gear 8. So I'll just throw in the Gideon in there, and funnily enough, that still counts as a full team of Tuskens, by the way, guys, for Sector 4.
Oh, winning.
Yeah. And I get like 2 or 3 wins a day, and then I'll do my 5 wins of Phoenix and 5 wins of Hut Cartel, and then I'll just sim. I'll sim for Datacron materials. So I'll be done in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I've got a few feats in the final zones, but it's just like it's just such assery the feats that they chose for this one. Even with the teams, it's so bloody boring and grindy. I sit here and
Yep.
Luckily, right now, in the U.S., there's a lot of playoff baseball and football and sports going on, so I can have that in the background while I'm like, auto.
Yeah.
Oh, we're done. Auto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we're done again. Auto. Am I done with
I was
Ewoks yet? Damn it. Auto.
But
Yeah, no.
How about that engagement though? The CG wants that engagement.
God.
They're like, it's like, does it count as engagement
it's
if we're literally just AFKing and autoing battles?
I know,
don't think it does.
But it's like,
as
what
far as
type
their
of
metrics are
engagement are you
concerned,
shooting
yeah.
for?
As far as their metrics are concerned, that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
I was talking about this yesterday. Actually, these feats have been like very, very specially crafted to just be incredibly, incredibly grindy. Like we were talking about them last week. I'm going over them. Oh, this doesn't look that bad. And oh, it's just some of these feats, and I always get kills with Tuscans. Oh, this team. It didn't look like on its face all that bad. And then you really look into it, because in Sector 1, there's like 14 wins with Old Republic. And there's also 14 wins of with Java surviving. So you can't do that at the same time. You also can't do Hut Cartel while you're doing that, or the Tuscan teams, or the Wookiee battles, or the Phoenix, which is a set team, or any of those. So that entire Sector 1, you can only do the sector feats. You can't do the global feats. So they went out of their way to make sure you couldn't double dip as you're going through the conquest. And
pretty much every sector is like that. Pretty much every single sector is
successfully made it.
You can either do global feats or you can do the sector feats. It's like, and so many of the global feats, like there's absolutely zero way to double dip on these feats. So it's just battles. It's not hard. It's like we looked over it, like you said last week. The feats are not difficult. They're just boring and grindy. I don't really care how many times I have to refresh Conquest, because I know I'm going to be refreshing it 6 times anyway because I want the datacrons. But I don't really want to be sat there burning through stamina on 16 different teams because I need to do 145,000 battles in order to red box. It's just boring and not fun. That's my biggest issue. Oh, my face is kind of frozen right now. What's that about? I mean, it's very dramatic. Hang on.
It is. It's quite dramatic. You're ready to pounce on something. I'm really feeling it. It's fierce.
Let me see if I can fix that real quick. I'm just like...
For anybody listening who's confused, Scrap's camera froze.
Yeah. Technical difficulties is my middle name.
Yeah, these things happen. But this conquest, they really did a good job of that. And like you said, it's not just the Sector 1; it's throughout the entire damn thing. Like they really did a good job of that. And
yeah,
yep.
And then on top of that, they made the damn mid-sector bosses fucking impossible.
Yeah,
pretty much impossible.
God.
Oh well, we definitely need to talk about that.
Yeah, Monday I hadn't started Conquest, and people were like, we have a problem, Houston. I'm like, what's going on, guys? Because I hadn't started. I was just getting through GAC on Monday, and they're like, we can't beat the mini boss. I'm like, what? No. And then more and more people in the chat were saying, yeah, it's almost impossible to beat. And so I went in there with my Java team, and it took me 7.5, 8 minutes to beat it because I just had to wait for my turn, basically. And luckily I got it to pay out with Stanton. And I'm like, wow. And then people are like, oh, it's worse. Jabba's unkillable. I'm like, oh, come on. It can't, or, the Rancor is unkillable. I'm like, oh, come on. You guys are being. And then I went in there, I went in there with every GL just to see, and I got slaughtered. Yeah. Total slaughter.
And I'm sure it's absolutely a complete coincidence that those mini boss and boss sect defeats were actually very doable if you bought the Conquest Pass Plus and had the Deadly Momentum data disc. It's like,
no, I had it.
Well, I mean, I was all the way through Sector 2 on the first day. I burst through all of it, and that data disc carried real fucking hard. And like I said, I'm sure that's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence, right? You know what I mean? Wolfie looks very shocked.
Because I had the $30 pass, and I couldn't get past after a few battles with the Rancor. I was like, no, I'll wait for the fix. There is no point in me spending any money. Wow, can we keep Wolfie like that forever?
That's so much better than
my one. Oh my god, we got to do like a GIF or something for that. Oh my god, we got to emote the hell out of this.
Oh, somebody clip this, please, because Wolfie's face is beautiful. I love it. I love
What do you mean I just smoked meth? I thought it was weed.
It's like he's sat on something uncomfortable. He's like, oh, hold up. Yeah, it's...
Look at that. Oh, my God.
Sorry for listeners at home. Wolfie has this
concentrate.
frozen... He's got a frozen camera. Something must be going on with Discord right now to freeze cameras. And his face is just like pure shock. Eyes wide open.
God. What
Hey,
the hell
Wolfie.
is happening?
That
What's
was
going? My
great.
Discord just froze on me.
Oh,
Took a
my
Wolfie.
God,
screenshot.
fantastic.
Did you see
I
it?
saw.
Oh, it was
yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, it was
man.
bad.
It was beautiful.
Hold on. I gotta send you real quick how it looked on my screen because Ranger's got a funny face too. Patron over here.
Oh, yep. Hold up.
Fucking hell. Wait. Copy. Why cannot I insert? Oh,
I know that
Discord's
feeling.
being a dick.
Ah, yes.
Discord is being an
As
absolute asshole. All right, I'll send it to you later. But wow, that was fun.
Yeah, no worries. Good times.
All right,
Good
now
times.
is my shit gonna work?
Is it gonna work? Gotta work.
We wait on beta
All right.
growth.
Pop out and turn on camera.
Pop it out and
And
turn it on.
camera works.
Yay.
There we fucking go.
And there was much rejoice. Good.
And they eat the minstrels.
Yes. So yeah, we were talking about like the fact that the mini bosses and the boss nodes, at least for the first two sectors, were completely overtuned.
Yes.
And you know what? Genuinely speaking,
was lucky, though.
there was you were lucky though?
I was
Tell
watching
me
your
if you-
stream. And
Oh.
and your chat came in and was like, "Fuck you, just use GG and Droidica and Watt and everything, and it works." And it worked.
Yep.
So
Yep.
worked out
The-
okay.
like there was still an element of RNG. I think I actually did it the very first time and it was fine, or maybe I did the second time. I can't remember. But there is a slight element of RNG around. You know, do you actually get
A
the
little
timing
bit.
right on the move? Do you actually get enough stacks on Droidica and all this stuff? But it was pretty reliable. It was pretty reliable for that. I'm pretty certain I beat Jabba with using Reaver, not Jabba, the Rancor. No, I didn't do that. I definitely didn't do that. I used Reaver against Jabba. I can't remember what I used against the Rancor. But I
Jabba
remember
used
doing it.
CLS. It was fun.
Yeah,
my
well, that's the thing, right? It's like you could go in there and I remember doing it and thinking, oh, that's not so bad. But then you see like the dozens and dozens and dozens of people that can't get anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely think, personally, I am of the opinion that CG looked at it and they were like, yeah, we want it to be hard. We want people to buy the Conquest Plus Pass Plus. But I
Well,
don't
make
think they
it
realized
close.
quite
Goddamn.
how hard it was. Well, if they'd have put that boss in like Sector 4 or Sector 5,
Sure.
so at least people could progress and you know, find out and build up some data disks before slamming us with really hard bosses immediately before anybody's got any data disks, then maybe I can understand. But it's not in CG's interest for them to create Conquest and make it a game mode that 90% of the player base can't engage with properly and beat. They want people farming datacrons. They want people playing Conquest, you know? So people bitched, it got fixed, which is good, by the way. It's good to
That was
complain.
like the biggest. That was the biggest thing to me because going through these mid-sector bosses and everything, it was stopping people from actually interacting with the game mode. It was stopping people from actually interacting with datacrons, and people aren't going to be investing in doing the refreshes and doing any spending crystals on datacrons and all that stuff if they can't get there. So and they screwed themselves with that. So I mean, I'm glad they went back but yeah, it's not always bad to be bitching and making your voice heard. When something like that happens and it actually is CG's doing something wrong, sometimes people just bitch because they love to and it just wants to make some noise and be noticed and whatnot. But sometimes it actually is real valuable, and that's one of those situations.
Well,
so
if you don't complain when you need to complain, then nothing gets changed, right? It's just that it was starting to grind my nerves when people kept complaining after they said, we're looking into it, we're going to fix it. And they just kept moaning. It's like, that was like, guys, just like, let them push out the fix and then bitch about it again if it still isn't working. The first fix they did apparently did nothing. Like,
no, it did nothing. It was like, what did you fix? Did you fix something? I can't tell. Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah.
So let's try this again, fellers.
Yeah, and I think it took them another day or something like that.
I think that it's a compounding thing, though, because the more these bugs that keep piling on themselves and keep happening, a frustration boils over. Now, I'm the mindset that I've always said that it's totally right to be angry and salty and bitch and complain, but also offer solutions to the problem and also be a little understanding. But it's hard to be a little understanding when it's consistently happening. Again and again and again. I mean, it's like when stuff's unplayable, like Wolf said, it's like, it's so bad that we can't even play the game. That's bad, So
have they fixed the Jabba's ultimate tier yet?
No, not that I'm aware of.
That's still broken, and Bouch is still not accelerated. I take it because she's supposed to be accelerated and she's not. She was accelerated and they did an update, and for some reason she's no longer accelerated. Like it's just like. It's just weird shit like that. I get it. It's frustrating when things are always broken. So it's almost like you've all seen the memes of say the line CG, such and such is not working as intended.
It's not working as intended.
That's how conditioned we are. Yeah, exactly. That's how conditioned we are for stuff to come out and it to just be broken. And that's not really good enough, is it? To be honest, I expect a certain level of bugginess, but.
Yeah, once in a while the bug happens, you're like, stuff happens. I don't really bother me, but it's just been one thing after another, and it's really bad. I did rogue actions with Heinze and Ram, and Heinze took a little bit of a break and he came back and he just started listing off all the crap that was broken, and he didn't even cover even a majority of it. He just went through the big ones, and I was like, good Lord, is it in 3 weeks? That's what we've gotten in 3 weeks? That's pretty bad. Between Conquest and Leia. And then there was also a bug where they had to refund, but because of the refund, they didn't get 12. They got 10 tickets back. So they had to go back and invest even more. We had the problem with the tier. Yeah.
That was with the ultimate tiers, right? Yeah, it was the tokens, the ultimate tokens.
Lost his crap. Yep. He lost his crap about that because he had to spend even more had to go back after getting it, had to go back in and then redo it more because tickets. He got less tickets. Yeah,
that is ridiculous, man. And
it's not like these are little things, like little side. I mean, you expect some amount of bugs. Nothing is going to be 100% perfectly bug free or anything. You expect there to be some sort of little issues here and there with anything. Those are big things. Those are right in your face. That's like you can't go through this room without tripping over it, kind of thing. It's right there. I don't know how you don't miss stuff like that. So if it was little things and if it was every once in a while, the tune would be very, very different. Like I said earlier, because it's now the rule rather than the exception, it's just become a meme. It's like, can they release anything without a bug at this point?
Apparently not. And the make good that they gave us for Conquest in particular, I know I'm jumping back a little bit here, but what did we get? We got like 120 Conquest energy and some
240.
240, I think, if you got
the 240
passes and stuff. Yeah. Because there was 240. You hit the store and then you got another thing from hitting the store. So it was energy, but it was like
like 2 refreshes and some consumables.
Yeah. So the 2 refreshes. I think part of the consumables was 5 more of the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon summon, right? Not that, like, to me personally, that doesn't help so much. Like, I wasn't negatively impacted by the broken state of Conquest because I actually blitzed through so quickly. Because, like I said, that Deadly Momentum data disc kind of carried me really hard. So I was okay. But I do kind of feel for players that lost like 2, nearly 3 days worth of Conquest because they just could not progress anyway. And I don't think that chucking in 240 energy really makes up for that kind of a blunder. When you're on a timed event like Conquest is for so many people losing out on being able to farm datacrons, people losing out on the ability to get a bunch of the sector feats done in a timely manner. It's not ideal. It's not ideal, no. But hey.
Well, I'm sure you've covered it, but the level of frustration is more for the people that are just getting into hard node conquest and mid tier, that are mid tier, that have some GLs, they have some teams, but they don't have all this stuff. So they have to rely on just being able to just to get through the sectors to try to get the best crate they can. So for them, where they don't have some of the teams, a lot of the teams that we do, that we can kind of figure stuff out if we can even do that to get through. So for them, that was really painful because they couldn't even sniff getting through sector 1 and 2, sector 1, let alone sector 2. So that's where you see a lot of the frustration because they don't have like the stuff that we have with the relics and stuff to make the
to be
attempt.
fair,
not everybody's got the depth. No.
To be fair, I mean that's sort of how it is. Deal with it at some point. You don't have as much depth. You don't have as much anything. You're not going to have as much ability to get through.
Only in regards to
I have all the GLs. I have like the ability to get through all this stuff, so I should be able to get through this stuff. If you're at 4 million GP and this is your first hard mode conquest, I'm sorry, it's going to be a struggle.
I don't mean like
it absolutely is.
No, I agree with that, but I'm talking about the mini boss and the boss stuff.
In that regard, 100%.
That's what I'm referring to. Yeah, that's what I was referring to. That's where really people were really feeling it because they don't have many options, and if their main options are not working just to get through it, it's not good. I mean, not for the feats. They just want to burn the boss and go on, right? Try to get some tickets. But yeah, that was out
exactly.
The door.
I had a quite a long discussion with one of my patrons, Slan, about this inside patron chat because he was really unhappy with how the feats were working out, and I understand that because it is dull and boring, and I was taking quite a large leaning towards what Wolf is saying is that Conquest and red boxing Conquest in particular,
right?
It's not a right. Just because you unlock Conquest doesn't mean you're like, yeah, okay, I deserve red box because I'm 4 million GP and I've got the access to the event. You don't, in my opinion, if you haven't built up the teams, you don't have a right to then bitch and say, but I don't have Afra, which I don't have. And I don't have Malicos, and I don't have GL Layer, and I don't have this. This is unfair, CG. How am I supposed to red box? Like, I'm sorry, but it's not for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be endgame content that is supposed to have a certain amount. Yeah, exactly. It's like
it sounds kind of cold, but yeah. Sorry.
Now it's completely different when we look at, like we said, the feats are boring and grindy. That's to me, that's not like you don't deserve to get red box because you can't do 40 battles. That's more of those feats are just dumb and grindy, and I bitched about that like a year ago about, how it's changed in Conquest. It used to be, I would rather us have every battle node is like the complexity of some of the mini bosses and the bosses that we've had, where beating the node is the feat, but it's hard to do.
Fun, actually.
Instead of doing 40 goddamn battles with Hut Cartel, which it isn't difficult, it's just time consuming and boring.
Yeah.
I would rather have because some of the mini bosses this time, they were actually fun. They were little puzzles, like the ATST at the end of Sector 5. That's cool. It took thinking outside of the box. It wasn't a gear check or a relic check. It was how can I abuse? Not how can I abuse? What do I know about the game mechanics in this game that makes this particular challenge easier? So you use stuff like Vader. You go into Merciless Massacre. You circumvent the fact that you can't generate TM, but you can gain bonus turns, and you've lost half your speed. You think of stuff like that that's out of the box, rather than it being, you just got to have Galactic Legend Layer to get the feat. Like, that's not a feat. That's just that's a tick box. I mean, that's a requirement. Yeah. So some of the mini bosses I thought were actually pretty cool. Like the Vader Wampa one, that was kind of cool. The ATST, that was kind of cool. I even think that the Gamma Guard one was actually good, and the Rancor one was good, but the difficulty was just way overtuned. That's all it was.
Yes.
And it shouldn't have been in Sector 1. It shouldn't have been in Sector 1 where nobody's got any damn data disks. Like, put in Sector 3 or 4 or...
And if you're doing Conquest, I always tell people, don't worry about red box. I mean, Gideon, as good as this kid is, he's not a character that you're going to day one need to be dominant. No, he's a TW character. His kid will be very solid in GAC. So if it takes you 4 or 5 conquests because you're getting gold box, I mean, I don't go for red crate anymore other than one time. I do it I do one conquest with red, and then I go get gold. Why? Because I don't need really the stuff from red box. Actually, what I need is all the crap on the Sector 4 treasure node and Sector 5 treasure node to get those high level datacrons material so I can roll. I'm more worried about that. And 1 red box, 2 gold. As long as you're getting the pass, you even have excess shards just so you don't have to worry about it. And by the 3rd conquest, I'm not even buying the shards. I'm buying stuff like impulse detectors and stuff because that's what I call my cache conquest. So you don't have to worry about, if you get to whatever box you can, you build it up. It takes time. We just encourage people that you have to do conquest the best you can because we're trying to avoid as much pain and misery as
well, you don't want to as much as you can. You want to avoid having to farm on proving grounds because that's just horrendous.
I mean, if you can get your character to 5, near 5-star or whatever, you just need a certain amount of shards. That's a hell of a lot less time you have to spend in proving grounds than you would if you'd done any of it. So yeah, boys and girls, get the best box you can, but don't stress if you're not getting red. If you get gold 4 or 5 times, still going to get the character just a month or 2 after everybody else has it. That's not a bad thing.
Well, you said it will also require the pass and getting the shards throughout the from the Java stores.
For first 2, and then the last one, you just I always get the pass.
It saves damn sanity by not getting the damn red crate.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like I will never let myself not get red box because I'm just kind of anal retentive about that. I want to get red box. I must get red box every time. But not everybody has to take that approach. Especially if you are not some sort of like 9-10 million GP plus player, you really don't have to worry about this one in particular, about getting Gideon. I mean, let's face it, he's the Lord Vader lifter, guys. He's the Lord Vader lifter because he needs 2.
He does.
He needs 2. Poor Lord Vader. If you don't even have Lord Vader and you don't even have Imperial Remnant and you don't even have he's not really a Mandalorian, really, but all that sort of business. It's like out of some of the past conquest units that we've been given, I feel like Gideon is something that you can afford to not get immediately if you are not an endgame player. I always like to get it straight away. Oh, Trench, man.
I've got Trench. I haven't 7 stars, but he's like gear 8. I haven't touched him. It's like he's nice. He's nice to have, but I'll work on him when I'm ready to work on him. I'm final stage of GLA, him immediately. I got other priorities. Dad Bob Buffett I only worked on until much later. I mean, I unlock every one of these characters 7 stars when they come out, but some it's like, no. Yeah. I'm not that focused on TW. I'm working on a GL or a legendary or something that is like, and that's one of the things we've always talked about is resource management. You might have to skip some things. I got Zori and I just got Chieftain to 7 stars. They're not going up to gear anytime soon. I don't have the resources and I'm not going to spend, for the Kyrtex and signal data to take them up because I've got Leia. I just did Malicos, so these are more important characters. So you have to kind of pick and choose your battles
definitely.
For what you go
unless
for.
Unless you're just going to be a massive whale. You can't have everything.
Just have all of the things, okay? Just whale harder and just acquire everything and just you're done.
Yes,
easy.
Yes.
Just embrace debt, guys. Embrace credit card debt. That's the lesson learned today, guys. The lesson learned today. Embrace debt. I mean, speaking of Trench, like I relic 7'd Trench the day he got out because I was like, he's a conquest unit. Trench is gonna be great. And he's okay. He's okay. He's useful. He's actually pretty good at cleaning up GLs as well. But unless you're gonna throw those TW armies on him, at least 2 of them, I think, then you're not gonna get the massive use out of him in TW. And in GAC, honestly, the best I can say is I've had a few holds with him on defense. That's kind of it. Yeah. That's kind of it.
If you're going to do anything good with him, you need like such a crazy investment in the team because he can kill GLs. They've seen him do very good work
in GAC. He can.
But you need such an absurd investment in the team to get.
Well, you need to write. He had that Datacron with him too that allowed that to happen, and so there's certain times that they do. It's like Afra. I always tell people like they'll ask me like, when should I work for Afra? When you get most of your main stuff done. Afra is nice, but she's not a necessity, and to make that team work. And don't get me wrong, Afra is great, but you can be just fine without Dr. Afra and the droids. You're going to be just fine. Trust me.
PSA though, I believe we should be getting Sana Staros to Accelerated pretty soon. And
It's
Should be.
about
We just got Hondo
that time, yeah.
accelerated.
November,
She's-
end of October, November. Those characters will start going to accelerated.
exactly.
They just accelerated Hondo.
Hey, about
Yeah.
time.
And
Let's go to business.
in this particular conquest as well, Afra is super useful to have.
Oh my god!
Just because of the purge feats, I did a workaround for the purge feats, but that's super easy. And she's a requirement
Doubt.
for one of the boss nodes, right? Doubt.
Doubt.
Sorry, not purge.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
she's
yeah,
nice
it's
for the
so
doubt.
damn good. The 100% Terminator at the start of battle, AoE purge. Now I'm doing it. Damn it, AoE doubt.
God damn it, Scribus.
You're such a big doo-doo head, Wolf. Don't you even know what the abilities are called?
I am big doo doo head. I will get another beer.
Now you
So,
know
yeah.
why I'm drinking tea today.
So public service announcement, those characters for the Afra farm are going accelerated now. So if you've let off and you've got a little bit of space, then maybe consider it, or at least farm the characters. I think Sana is like I hate it
Back
when
to
I have
signal
to
data.
sacrifice signal data. Yeah, but there we go.
Yeah. But the low energy farms are nice. Like Hondo is an energy container farm. Takes no time at all. Once he's double dropped, just get him and be done with it. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it sucks
And,
with signal
Hondo's
data,
great.
but so good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I think I've got, like, my Hondo was R7. I took Hondo to R7 during his Datacron days. I love Hondo, he's great. But the BT1 and 000, I farmed up to 7 stars, but they're just like gear 8 or something. I've not. And now I have absolutely no gear because I spent it all on the requirements for Slacker. And then that
As
pack
you
came out
should.
for $10 goddamn dollars. I could have saved myself so much gear. Damn it, CG. You could have told me that pack was coming. Son of a bitch.
No.
If you had your charity stream a month later,
I know,
you
right?
would have been fine.
I would have been fine. And I would be basically done for GL layer.
God.
Because I would have had all the gear for
Oh.
GL layer. Obviously, it's still
man.
shard farming for the marquees and everything like
Right.
that. But, you know.
Right.
Oh, it hurts so bad. It still hurts. I'm talking
Hurts
to my
so
therapist about it, though.
good.
We're getting through it. We're working through
Come
it.
on, baby, make it hurt so good.
Yeah.
Those packs
So what
are
about
insane.
those
Like,
packs, guys? Yeah. Sorry,
Dude, we
Wolfie,
were
go ahead.
talking. I got
Amazing.
that pack specifically. I have Karth at Gear 12 and T3 at Gear 12. I bought the Raz pack just to bring them to Relic 5 because I was planning on working on them anyways, and it's that worth it. The amount of people who are getting full Leia teams, full Ray teams, full Slacker teams, full like ready to go for these farms, crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like millions and millions of GP being added across the board.
I bought that Radis pack just because I wanted L3 because I never had the time to Relic L3, Relic 5 L3. I needed T3, I needed Karth, I needed Young Lando. I say needed in the loosest sense of the term. You don't need them, but I didn't have them at Relic levels, right? For
You could use
$20, I was like, fuck yeah, take my money. That's actually a really good goddamn deal. Just for the signal data, just for the carbonite circuit boards, the bronzium wirings alone, without even looking at the Kyrotech, without even looking at the signal data or anything like that. Carbonite circuit boards and bronzium wirings, $20 all day. I'll do it. Gimme. Yep. We know that Ranger bought all of them because he needed all of those characters. He's only a small
Well,
guy.
I'm debating the Radis one, but I'm like, Relic 7, 5, 5. I already have these characters mainly done. The only two I would get 3. No, Lando would go to 5. Karth would get T3 and 4.
Oh my god!
They're pilots.
Sorry, someone in
They're
chat just said that
pilots.
their guild went from 17 stars to 21 this TB just because
Wow.
of those packs. That's wild.
That is a lot of Relic 5 characters, to be fair. So yeah, it's
crazy.
pretty huge. That I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh
And,
man.
Honestly, based on community feedback, I guarantee you we're going to see this sort of pack come out again in the future.
It'll
what
be
it's
a
going to
while,
be for?
but,
Yeah. I think they're gonna do this for some of the older farms. I think.
because they also did the one for Starkiller. So it wasn't just Ray, it wasn't just the Radis and the Kylo and everything. It was also Starkiller, who is only a 2-year-old character at this point.
His pack was a lot more expensive, though, right? He wasn't his
It was.
$50.
Yes.
So I'm not even going to argue that if you don't have any of the characters, is bad value. I still think if it was all 4 requirements at Relic 5, I did see the pack. It wasn't in my store, so I'm not sure what it has. But $50
You couldn't see the pack if you already had it.
Exactly. But if it is all those 4 characters for $50, if you don't have any of them geared, I'd still say it's pricey, but it's still pretty good value compared to what we normally get. You know, that is a lot of Chirotech in that farm. There's a lot of Chirotech for those characters. You're talking Kyle Katarn. You're talking I keep saying Dr. Aphra. It's not Dr. Aphra. It's
Mara,
Talon. Mara Jade, Darth Talon. Yep.
And Dash.
And who's the last one? Dash Rendar. And they're all great characters. They're all bloody great.
They are.
They're so good to have in your roster. So, and it is R5 all requirements. Yeah, see, that's still... I know it's not as immediately sort of like, oh my god, buy this pack now, as the other ones were. But it's still something to consider, because the amount, compared to just buying out those Chirotechs, it's a lot cheaper. You try and buy that many Chirotechs with just crystals, you'll go broke. Unless you're Karth, of course. And you'd be like, a casual Tuesday.
I have to do some
But
math.
you're not kidding. 1,600 Kairos plus everything on top of it, plus the shard farms, plus everything. It's not as good of a deal as Ray, but it's worth it, man. It really, it's crazy. They did a very, very good job of distracting us all from getting pissed off at their recent missteps by giving us those damn packs.
I don't
Screw
think
you,
we can...
CG. Take my money.
I genuinely don't think we can brush that off. Oh, it's just a coincidence that we had the world's best value packs drop into the game right over the time that they were completing an actual titfuckery of Conquest. That's
the break in case of emergency sort of packs.
Yeah. And they managed to find themselves a whole new slew of dolphins in the same process. All those free-to-play players that were like, yep. They're like my best friend who's been playing this game since release, free-to-play, bought the pack for Slacker. He refused to spend for like 7-8 years. That pack came out and he bought it immediately. And he's like, I'm no longer free-to-play. I was like, holy shit, that should tell you how good of a deal these were. You know, it's just crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And I do hope that they do this again in the future. What I'm expecting to see is, say they look to do C and JML equivalent packs in like 6 to 9 months' time or something, maybe a little bit longer. I expect them to be more expensive. I don't think it will come at a $9.99 or $20 price point. I think it'll be a little bit more. It'll just be a little bit more, because CG is trying to test the waters, I think, to see how much people are willing to spend.
Theirs are also, especially with JML, it starts getting a little bit more complex, because you get stuff like JKL. And if you're unlocking stuff like JKL, that's not only going towards JML, that's also going towards other GLs. You can say the same thing for like JTR or something like that, who's going for, both Ray and JML and obviously, but there's a lot more like breadth, I think, of characters and over there that may have some double dipping. Like Rolo and Captain Han are now being required for Leia, so they're in a little bit higher regard than just as JML or JKL requirements. So that we start to get a little bit, dicier and we'll say like granular, we'll say with the packs over there. But
for sure,
probably JML will be JML and C are probably on the horizon for packs coming up. Just get everybody up to speed with all these old legendaries and get some more stuff on the board. The packs were worded very specifically, right? Not one of those packs was like the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren pack, Lightspeed bundle. Yes. No, it was the BB-8 pack, and it was the JTR pack and the Radis pack, right? So I'm sure we'll see something like an Executor pack that will help you get some of the Imperial Troopers that you need for C, and then there might be one that is a Jedi Knight Luke pack that helps you get the characters for Jedi Knight Luke, and then that kind of does a lot of the work that gets you towards you get your Rolo, your
JML. Exactly. And like you said, that double dips again on people like Jabba, right? Is it Jabba? No, it's Princess Leia, Galactic Legend Leia. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like Rolo and Captain Han now for
but Jabba also requires JKL, right? So who needs Rolo and Captain Han? So it's a lot of cross dipping over here.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think it's going to happen. I wouldn't be.
Well,
I would love to see.
we needed a catch up mechanic. I mean, the grind is real to get caught up, and if they're going to introduce on a continued basis, and we've got a pretty good idea yearly what they're doing. Changes here and there, but we have a pretty good idea. But that's one of the frustrations of the newer players and stuff. It's like, God, that seems so far away. Now it doesn't. Now, one thing I will say about the packs, as great as they are, you're going to have to go back and work on Zetas, and you're going to get ahead of your mods by leaps and bounds. So,
and if you don't have the capital ships for Radis and Finalizer, you still need to get them before you can start your GL farm. So it's not instantaneous, but it's such a huge benefit nonetheless.
It's a big weight off your shoulders, you know. And then and to go back and work on mods with all the events, you get so many mods. You know, it's just going to take you some time. So don't be frustrated. Just pick a team, work on their mods, get them to where you need. Go to the next team, you know, for your GL. Do the same thing. So
I mean,
but that is really a big thing.
Yeah,
I'm saying the same thing with about the mods and everything. You know, getting all those characters all at once is a strain on your mod depth. Getting all that stuff at once is absolutely a big investment. And if you, as Scribble was saying, with the Finalizer, with the capital ships, Finalizer is a great capital ship. If you don't have enough prestige, then it doesn't do very
exactly.
Good.
If you can't upgrade your, wasn't it Cubs that got completely boned by having no prestige?
I wasn't going to say it. I
was getting ready to
profundity. Oh no, absolutely! Like
executor
that's
profundity or something.
Yeah, that'll go down in history as like one of the biggest like blunders, because he was ready for the capital ship and everything on the day of release, and he had all the crystals to get to 7-star, and he just couldn't level up the abilities. And you're like, oh, Cubs.
He upgraded the basic all the way, and then went to go for the specials and was like, "What? What's prestige?"
Oh God! So another public service announcement, guy. Make sure you always have a healthy stockpile of prestige. You can get it with Squad Arena tokens, I think.
I went down to 60 prestige. I almost had that moment the other day because they finally touched up. Well, they finally touched up the endurance. So it finally doesn't entirely suck. So I was like, maybe I should level up all these abilities. And I went down to double digits of prestige.
Dude, oops. I have been like wrapping my prestige in bubble wrap for a while now. I think I still have like 4,000 prestige, so I'm set for the next 2 capital ships. I'm just not like I don't spend it anymore.
What do I got? I'm gonna look here.
Yeah, I think
I have 4,000. This after Leviathan, I still have 4,000 something left.
Yeah. Like I think for years when I was just climbing in Squad Arena, I refused to spend any of my Squad Arena currency on anything apart from prestige or whatever the currency is for it. I think it's Squad Arena currency. It was just like just buy and don't look at it, buy and don't look at it. And then I was like, okay, cool. We've got a healthy stockpile now. Now I use it to convert into shard shop requirements and you know what I mean?
Because there is some decent gear in the Squad Arena store. Because if you scroll all the way down, there's a few gear pieces that convert to what is that? Carbonites they convert to? I forget.
Bronzium wiring.
Bronziums.
I think it is.
I forget.
They need to help us out there. Just to jump back to packs, somebody in the chat here was saying that they would like to have a $10 pack to get R5 Ewoks. And honestly, I would actually like to see it go a step further. I would like them to give us full team of Gear 12 Ewoks for a $5. Like, go the other way. Don't take it to relics. Gear 12. Everybody can get C-3PO now. No relics involved. Really cheap. £5. And when I say all Ewoks, it wouldn't have Nisa. It would be like OG lineup of Ewoks, right? And I think like a lot of people will do that just to unlock C-3PO. Because C-3PO is still fantastic. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind seeing R5 packs either, but I'd like for them in the future to consider getting these catch-up mechanics for just a bunch of the legendary events, a bunch of the legendary characters, just to make them easier for people to catch up on if they want to. You know?
I'm down for it. I mean, it's overall the packs are good. We'll just say that the packs are good. Some people out there that were working on those specific characters a little salty. They have every right to be. I'm not saying any names, Scribble. But outside of that, you know,
I'm not salty. You are.
Oh, don't forget a towel.
Don't forget.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Oh, dear me. Dear me. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So good.
So, have you guys unlocked your Marauders? The
Yes.
ship I'm talking about,
Barely.
obviously, for those listening at home. The
Yes.
the Bad Batch ship, the Marauder.
Mhm.
I haven't done any testing with mine. You guys done anything?
Haven't had time. No.
I have not used it yet, but I have unlocked it. The drop rates have
Same,
been
yeah.
absolute shite because
Oh,
I'm
they're
not
bad.
farming a galactic legend right now. So
Oh, I
my
am.
drop rates are ass.
I'm,
Well, I'm
I'm
like
farming
in
a
a
Galactic
position-
Legend right now.
I am
But-
too,
Well,
but
a
it's
light
like,
side galactic legend. Sorry.
I mean, honestly, with the drop rates, I'm happy to get it at
Sucks.
5, maybe 6, but the drop
Mhm.
rates are just completely garbage. Oh my god! And I was looking at it because I was like, okay, let me see how the drop rates are. First 3, I got 10. Then magically, as I started getting closer to unlock, it started dropping to
Mhm.
3, 4, 1. I actually had a pull on a 20 pull that I got 1. I was like, okay, I see how this is set up, you dirty bastards. Oh my
Yeah.
god. So they get you like, ooh, 10, 10, 10. I'm 30 out of 80. And then 4, 1, 6.
Yeah, it's
2.
painful
It's
when you
like,
get
oh
those
my
low
God,
drops.
so bad.
For anybody
It's like-
who's confused as to what I was talking about, the drop rates, if you're farming a light side galactic legend, are absolutely insane. With the
I know,
limit
that's
that
the
they
other
have right
thing.
now.
Yeah, it's if you're farming a GL, an actual GL, it's what, doubled or something like that, or some kind of crazy number.
It's
I'm like,
not strictly
is that?
doubled. It's
a lot
definitely.
more.
I think what
It's
it
just a lot
does is
higher.
it gives you an extra roll. I think it gives you an extra chance to actually get one, but it doesn't necessarily double it because I've seen someone did 3 sims and got 5 shards, so it can't be doubled, right? Because it's just extra chances. It's higher probability for somehow, some way, right? I don't know what it was, but yeah, if you are farming a GL and not a dark side GL like I am, then you will get additional drops for all these sorts of things, not just galactic chases. Whenever they do additive drops, which they've done in the past, right? You know, like we had for Captain Drogon and Nisa, the same thing happened then. If you were farming GLs then, those drop rates were astronomical. It's amazing. Yeah, Ryrock says he's seen a 2 sim with five ships. Yeah, it's crazy. Five
Yeah.
blueprints of the Marauder dropped.
I'm sitting
excited
at
for him.
23 out of 65, 4-star Marauder.
Let me have a look. I don't know what I'm at. I will
Been
check
doing
real
the
quick.
50s and 100s, a preloaded energy, and I've been doing the 50s and the 100s. And yeah, has not been amazing.
I preloaded about 700 energy, and I've been doing 200 a day, and I'm on 46 out of 65 right now. So
Okay.
I think one day, I think the first day I did 3 200s. I did all of them. I just went 200, 200, 200.
I make
So
it to
46 out of
5
65.
stars, but
Yeah, I want to push to get it all the way. I just like to get them done, because why not? I actually really like the look of the Marauder. I think they've done a good job with the textures and everything on this particular ship. I think it looks cool. So hats off to the art team once again, the real MVPs of Galaxy of Heroes.
I think the ship looks fine. The ship looks. I mean, we were expecting the ship for a while now. It's oh yeah, the Bad Batch ship. When's that coming in? When's the Bad Batch ship coming in? So I mean, ship looks great. They did a good job. It's what we were expecting. Definitely, we're waiting for it. Now let's just see how it does once they fix it.
Yeah, because right now it's crazy. I was talking to you before about it, Wolfie, on my stream, wasn't I? How it's got more than twice the physical offense of the second most powerful or damaging ship in the game, right? So the TIE Defender has got 15k physical offense,
Something
and
like that, yeah.
the Marauder's got 31k. It's
Now,
like,
for reference, for reference though, the Defender does hit multiple times on basic.
does.
So that is a
does,
consideration with the actual damage output. But yeah,
Absolutely.
this thing is insane.
It's nutty. It is absolutely nutty. It boggles my mind that there isn't a ship like the second most highest physical offense ship in the game has got less than half the offense of this ship, and it's like it's just the Galactic Chase ship. It's like it's not some legendary ship. This is just going to be a normal hard node farm in a couple of months. and it's that heavy hitting is crazy. So, yeah,
it's going to be very accessible, and it's going to make the Galactic Republic fleet actually, viable for longer throughout the, like for a longer term.
Because aren't they beating everything right now with in the current unfixed version?
From what I've
beating
heard,
Leviathan and Profundity and Executor. Yeah. It's like,
from what I've heard, it's just smashing everything because it just goes and it just fucks, man.
It's down to fuck.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's crazy offensive capabilities. It's got a boatload of healing in it as well. Health and protection recovery. It's crazy. Right. It's so good. But yeah, I haven't tried mine out.
It's a good faction. Mm-hmm. So I haven't given it a go. It's still 4 stars. Maybe it'll do something useful, but I don't want to like get used to it and then get my hopes up and then have to get used to it again once they fix the damn thing. Mm-hmm. So it's a conundrum. Like,
that's literally my stance right now with ISC, because ISC being crazy broken right now, I haven't invested in at all. I've chosen not to gear him, even to gear 12 or anything like that, because I don't want to have that crutch and be like, I've got ISC who can just rip through a GL with Maul and Gar Saxon in seconds and then have them fix it.
They have fixed it already.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm obviously behind the times.
Yeah, that was a couple.
Apologies.
Yeah, that was a couple days ago.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find the post. Yeah. Basically, they just limit it to I think it was full dark side Mandalorians or
you can't
Empire.
have WAD in there. Yeah, you can't have WAD in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, no WAD,
dark side
no
Mandos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was full dark side Mandos or Empire.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, yeah, that's still very workable, I feel. And Ranger, just to rub in the bad drops, I just did 10 sims of light side and I got 6 Marauder shards. 6 for 10. Delicious.
Shove it up your ass.
Yeah, and shove it up your ass.
Nice.
I've been getting 3 out of 12s all fucking last couple of days. Ooh. Oh my god. Yeah, it's
1 out of 20. Both of you lick my ass.
Aaron Jesus giveth and Aaron Jesus taketh away. We know this is the case.
No, for me it's the Illuminati. It's a different story.
Ah, yes, the Illuminati. They're always after you, especially when
the
you're
CG
doing mod
Illuminati. No, they hates me. It's like today I rolled mods without being on stream. I got an 18, a 16, and a 16. I'm like,
good.
I have to take my battles. But I can't not roll mods on stream. It's tradition. So when I do, it's like, no speed, no nothing. We'll hit lots of defense. It's like, oh, good. I hit flat defense. Sell.
I love 5-roll defenses, don't you?
No, my personal greatest love has got to be, it's got to be the when you then go to recalibrate that defense and it re-rolls it with lower defense.
And it re-rolls it again.
Yes,
favorite. That's even better. Yes,
and you're
favorite. Like, I hate you. Why is that a thing? I swear they said in their post that when you recalibrate, it'll always be better. They lied. And everybody was surprised. They're like, oh, no. Surely that can't happen. Ugh,
well,
so
what they meant was that it shouldn't get worse because you can just keep it the same. So I mean, it's just not as bad as it. I don't know where we can bullshit something. Maybe I don't
defense that I didn't want, and it's actually worse than the defense I just previously scored. No, it got worse. It got really worse. Yeah.
But you discard it. If you keep the old one, then it's the same. So it didn't get worse.
Yeah.
And in some people's brains, if you keep the old one, technically it got better because it's better than the new roll when you don't do it. Your mods are always better, guys.
I could have kept those changes. That would have been really bad. Thank God
we can mental gymnastics our way through this. Don't worry.
I think this was I think CG must have hired a politician to come around and decide how calibration works.
Yes.
Because they're like, technically. Well, actually.
Well, if you read the fine print over there,
I've come to talk about calibration. It's great. Tremendous. I created this whole
calibration. The caliberals.
Oh my God, I hate liberals. They are always on my ass. Always talking about how I never do anything correctly. They're always saying wrong.
Yeah. I mean, on the whole, though, in general, I think calibration is actually really good.
It
I
has
love the
been
ability
very,
to.
very good.
Yeah.
We joke all the time about calibration because we have all been there where you try and roll defense and you get a worse stat or you get defense again. We jest. We've also been there when you get that extra roll of speed and you're like, yeah, I got
Offensive
28.
performance.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking. We've had those moments where it's just
yeah.
like immediate hype and oh my god, hell yeah, calibration. It has increased like the speed floor of this game insanely.
Oh yeah, massively.
Like it's just brought
Speed. But if I got a mod that's hit crit chance, I'm over 10. I'm like,
that's one of
Like,
those
you know,
ways where they
that-
don't necessarily care about speed. You look at the Seer team, you look at a few of those like the
Ufa,
Tarful
yeah.
team. They don't all
Yep.
need speed. They don't all need to be just ripping, roaring fast. So you can focus on stats. You can focus on getting those offense percent rolls, just up, and good to go. You can focus on getting those health percent rolls, those protections. I have 163k protection, 162, 165, I don't even know, on my JML because of
Nice.
re-rolling and getting protection rolls.
Yeah, getting protection rolls. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's lovely.
I mean, oh, absolutely. It's done.
We have to
like-
take the good.
But like these days, if I have a 6E mod and it's got like 3 rolls of speed and 3 rolls of percentile offense, or even like 3 rolls of speed, 1 roll of percentile offense, 1 roll of something else, I'm quite sure 6-7% percentile offense. It doesn't always happen, obviously, but the chance for it to happen is there, and it can almost always improve your mods. So I love calibration. I think it's great. It's been so good for the mod scene.
without a doubt.
Yeah, I think it's been a good positive thing. You just have those moments where you just want to cry, just like
Yeah.
oh my,
We've been there.
especially when they're back to back, where you're like, all right, I hit the flat defense. Let's roll this again. Hit it again. Oh my god, I just rolled 15 and a 25, and I didn't hit any speed or offense on this mother effer. Damn it!
It's the most painful. I think I've got a mod, a 6A mod in my inventory, which is like a 4 roll of speed at 24 speed, and I'm like, I just need that last one, and I did all of the recalibrations, didn't hit speed. I was like, oh, that hurts so bad. That could have been like a 30 speed, a 29 speed. You know, I was just like, it just refused to roll. I felt very bad about that. Big Sag. But hey, like I said, you take the good with the bad, right?
I had a mod like that, and on like the 5th calibration, it hit I think it hit a 4 speed or a 5 speed. I don't know. I think it hit a 4 speed, and it was on the 5th calibration. I had already turned down a 4 speed roll on like the 2nd calibration to try and get a better roll. I'm just like, no. The 6th roll, no, it's done. I gotta take it. I gotta take that damn 4 speed. Man, there's definitely some heartbreaks in those calibrations. There's some mods that are just so close to greatness.
Yeah,
that just
we
fell a
need
little
that
bit short.
Krennic. We need that Krennic meme. Yeah, we need it. We need it, baby.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's good stuff though. Hey, GAC is starting. We should have sign up tomorrow, right? Everybody's hyped.
We were having a perfectly good, a perfectly like reasonable civil conversation. You have to go and bring 3v3 into this. I thought I knew you, Frank.
You think you know a
we were
guy.
friends.
Somewhere right
I thought we
now,
were friends.
somewhere right now, a little P just came out of RAM when you said threes.
Yeah, well, or blood. You never know. It could just be discharge of all sorts. Really,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know where he's gone with that thing.
Yeah,
but
no, better than
yeah.
ask.
No, well, yeah. Don't ask questions that you don't want the answer to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
right.
I'm actually terrified right now because this is going to be the first 3v3 season where we're going to have to deal with Malakos, and I feel like Malakos teams in 3v3s are just. I'm not looking forward to that business.
What do you do with him?
I haven't decided yet. I'm thinking it's probably still going to be defensive. I don't know if I'm going to throw him with a Star Killer team or a Lord Vader team. Haven't decided. Haven't decided.
That was the big question. I've heard some people saying either on a Seer team or you go full fuckery and you put Malakos with Star Killer. Are you going to go balls to the wall, do the science, Mr. Scribble?
I will.
If you're going to do it,
because I'm
it'll
going
be
with the
first
Spirit
round. Right?
Malakos team with the Datacron. You bet your ass that shit's going on defense. I'm rolling that Datacron today, as a matter of fact. So it's like, Get a few more of those. I'll be level 9. I'm getting Malakos. I'll re-roll that bitch. because I want
be
that
juicy.
on there. Yeah, it's going to be creamy. I mean, Maliko's been great. I took him up the relegate immediately. I had a lot of holds and fives with that team. It really took people by
so much fun
surprise.
with him.
I can't remember if mine is 7 or 8. I think it might be 7 because I'm broke. Let me have.
I went to 8, and I was attacking
Oh, he is 8.
Lord
Go
Vader's.
me.
I was like killing Lord Vader's with him and everything. In 3v3 though, I don't think he'll have the damage output. I think like without the full team there, I think
Hard
the
to
GL
ramp
will
up.
stand
Yeah.
up.
Well, with the new Datacron, you don't know. I mean, with this, with his abilities and stuff, I got to look at it again. But
I don't know. Like
I'm
we'll
thinking
play around with it. We'll play around with it. But does it really matter? Because again, I always talk about it. I went 7-2 the last 3v3, and I had a winning record in this JC, and I'm Kyber 1. I always get squished down the Kyber 2. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
It's
win
just
or
like,
lose, yeah, is whatever. I just want to have some fun with some battles and stuff.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, the Maliko's team for me will be a defensive team.
I imagine mine will be.
Yeah, we'll see. But we always organically will change our strats once the first week's done. We'll look at stuff and be like,
it's the Wild West. It's a new character, 3v3, everything. There's gonna be a bunch of
For me in particular, the first week of 3v3 is very much kind of like how do we 3v3 again? What are the teams? What are the comps? I cannot remember how to play this game. Yeah, I always, and the funny thing is it goes back to 5v5, and I'm like, now what's meta again now in 5v5? So first week of 3v3 is horrible.
I mean, 5v5, you know how things work. It's more just like remembering, okay, what is the actual counters? What is not working because of datacrons? What is working because of datacrons? Like, that's the whole sort of thing. 3v3 is like, okay, we're gonna throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Not looking forward to it, but yeah, I'll probably throw Malicos on defense for at least the first week. Because like when in my 5v5 escapades, I had zero luck with Malicos on offense, to be honest with you. Like even taking Maul with him, I couldn't kill anything. Like, I say couldn't kill anything. I couldn't beat any of the teams that I wanted to be able to beat with him. Rey, I don't need Malicos for Rey. That's not doesn't add value to my account personally, in my opinion, because Starkiller always beats Rey in my experience.
Right.
So
I don't counter.
It is a solid counter. More importantly for me, I don't trust Starkiller to take out another GL. I know he can take out the likes of Jabba. I used to do that all the time. But I don't feel like I have much value in using that counter anywhere outside of Rey. So it's like I don't need a new Rey counter. I know he can take out Lord Vader, but it was always failing when I used to do it. And like I said, I've got the 2 armies on him. I've got Relic Gate. I've got good mods on him. I got datacrons, but it just never seemed to work. But hey. So
I was able to kill Lord Vader. Literally, all it took to stop me was putting 2 tanks on the fucking team. Like, that was it. Royal Guard and Shore Trooper both being on the team, they cut the damage output enough, and they shared the damage too much that I couldn't get through either of them. And ended up just getting down to just 3 of them. So that was all it took. Yeah. If there was 1 tank, a Malicos killed your Lord Vader. If there was 2 tanks, I was fucked. Like, that's what it came down to. So in 3v3, I don't think so.
It's just it is. I mean, I play pretty safe to the vest. I see Lord Vader in 3s. He's getting an SLKR right in the ass. Rey's getting Starkiller. I go by what I know will go.
I can't. I don't have the ult. I could nearly do that.
Not yet, but soon.
But I don't get to do what's Slacker. I don't get to do that anymore because I've got Slacker, guys. I know you're dead impressed. Don't act like you're not impressed. It's actually the weave on these pants.
Oh man,
it's an illusion on the weave.
Oh man,
illusion and weave. I'm all of a sudden thinking of Baldur's Gate 3 all over again.
Oh god.
What a great game.
This game is so good.
It is.
Oh, it's so good.
It's the bestest.
It's not fair. It's not fair how good that damn game is.
Yeah.
I've got I think 5 playthroughs going through right now.
Oh, man. You're like, you get so far and you're like, you know, it'd be really cool if I should do this. And you're like, let's start another 85-hour run.
Well, I've got like the main one I was doing on my own. I've got the one that I'm doing on stream. I've got one that I'm going with a buddy of mine from college. I had another one I was like doing on the side because I wanted to fuck with the Ranger. Not Ranger, a Ranger.
A different Ranger. Ranger's like,
Different
nobody fucks
Ranger.
with me.
Ranger the class, not Ranger the person. And then also got sucked into doing a playthrough with Hershey, Vidodi, and Grid. So that has
nice.
been another ridiculous playthrough. So we're having fun. It's a damn good game.
It is
oh
a
my
very
god
good game. Ryrock in the chat is saying that Starkiller teams can take down Malgus. I've not tried that actually. Is that solid?
It's a counter.
Can
let's go back and look at the 3v3 counters. It is tough, yeah. I just go in there with Ginger Vibe. For me, the Malgus team now is losing more and more value in defense because, especially now, Gingivitis out, Jedi Cal, if you have them, and more, but we're pretty sure at the end of the month,
come back.
At the end of the month, when people get him, that trust me, it's like, and 3, it's just like, go get your full banners, easy win, victory. It's cake. So, and that's freed me up to move C to, whatever else I've got going on. So yeah. So each of these teams and dynamics help, break your normal trends into other stuff.
With Starkiller versus Malgus, I mean, in the few times that I've tried it, it's always been a little bit dicey just because it's tough to actually get him down. You, like the shock will stop healing, but it won't stop the protection recovery. And Malgus himself is immune to
healing
immunity. Yeah. So even if you have Starkiller's third Omicron, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't. He just resists it. He's just immune to it, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. So I haven't had much luck with it. Can he take him down? Probably. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it possible? I am not the end all be all in this game. End all be all retired.
He did. He was a great player as well.
Oh, amazing player. Can he take him out? Yes. From what I've seen, it's not the most reliable thing.
It's not the most. It's not something you want to do. You want to save Starkiller for other stuff. But I mean, C can take it out. We know as you get your Jedi Cows, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy with that team. So Malgus is just getting more counters, So
and he does pretty well.
We'll make adjustments.
The other side of it, as well as like with Leviathan out, so many more people now have got Relic 9 Malix and Relic 9 DRs, and those extra relic levels, they really make that team a lot harder to take down now. Like,
that dude thick,
and he thick. Oh, bro, he thick. So I usually just rely on good old faithful geriatric wheelchair-ridden C to get rid of Malgus because I know I don't have to think about it. It's just like throw in Malgus with his personal made Watembo to throw that the tank tech on him, and then just win because you can't lose. You just can't lose unless the game crashes or something. I'd rather guarantee the win.
Real quick,
shut up, Wolfie. I know where you're going. Wolfie's been muted.
No. Oh, hold on.
Hold up.
Wait. Where'd you think I was going? Now I'm curious. Where do you think I was going?
You were going to tease me with Set, weren't you? You were going to tease me with Set.
I wasn't going to tease you. I was going to point it out. Because I've done that too, and I've seen it so many times.
I actually saw it. I saw it on. I checked the last round of GAC in 5v5s. I was scouting my opponent, and he did the same thing. And I was like, "Oh man, I've been there, brother."
Dude, it happens. It happens. Set is just absolutely unkillable if he's on his own. You just can't.
You gotta link him. You gotta link him, man.
Oh man!
I mean, it's great because it'll sap banners, but like the cleanup is not exactly going to be hard. It's just a set on its own with no leader. But still, you don't want to do what I do and completely forget to link Set and then find out that C just does no goddamn damage at all to him. It's like, I'm going to hit you for 6,000, and then Set is just going to recover all of that in protection from debuffs. You're like, oh, crap.
It's like,
I can't
wait a
rank
minute,
mastery that quick.
why is my Galactic Legends output damage output the same as Set's damage output? What is happening?
Yeah.
What is this?
And he's just too much goddamn recovery. Dear me. But hey. Yeah. So I felt like a big old dum-dum because I wasn't concentrating. I was just going along, and then I was like, oh, wait, we're boned. There's no way out. Never mind.
It's one of those, you don't think about it until you're there in the moment. It's like, oh, so I guess I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, good talk.
I guess my Galactic Legend can't 1v1 this one tank who's not a Galactic Legend.
He's just a big beefy boy.
Here's a chonker. Here's a chonker. Good. Yeah. So, guys, C absolutely cannot lose against Malgus if you don't, play it right.
You don't poo-poo the bed, yes, yeah.
Yeah, you don't poo-poo the bed like Scribble does. But I don't profess to be some kind of amazing GAC player, so shut up! I just do stuff and things.
Okay.
It's more fun that way.
It is more fun that way, especially when alcohol is involved.
Dude, this Friday night drunk Scribble GACs are like the capstone of my week. I go through my whole week looking forward to these Scribble drunk GACs Friday nights. It's truly wonderful.
I mean, my liver doesn't thank me for it, and my win count doesn't thank me for it, because turns out the drunker you get, the less likely you are to win, but usually the more fun you have. And the more I go on tilt and rage as well, because that does happen.
We'll need to investigate whether that's correlation or causation. I don't know.
It could be just a coincidence, to be fair.
I think more experimentation is required. Let's get a 10-year study going. How's that sound?
Oh, I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say we'll get a 10-year oak matured rum. We'll see what happens when that's all we drink in this GAC.
Oh God.
Oh man, I did get some
Year
new
7.
Whiskey,
We had to end the thing because he died, liver failure.
How many years?
Yeah, I was going to say cirrhosis.
It happens.
Yeah.
I did get a new whiskey I need to try, so maybe I'll crack that open later. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the whiskey? What's it called?
It's a brand is Widow Jane. It is called the Paradigm Rye. It's from a place in New York. They have it's the limestone caves that the water's filtering through.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very solid. Why the hell not?
Why not? Oh, I'm so punny. That sounds good, but I like a good whiskey, so yeah, fucking go to town, man. Should be good. Should be good.
Oh yeah.
See, E-Ray also timed out on a set with his chron a while back. So it's not just me. I'm not the only silly sausage. It can happen. It can happen.
Like I said, you are far from the only person that I've seen that happen to, and I've done it before myself. So I am not roasting you. I am roasting all of us.
Gotta learn the hard way sometimes. Gotta learn the hard way. How's your guys' datacrons coming along? Are you farming datacrons? Are you on that point yet?
Yeah, I've got
for the new set.
I mean, I'm in that mode right now where it's like I'm trying to get I've got a ton of them. I just haven't been able to take all of them to 9 yet, just because the delay kind of hurt a couple of days, and getting to where I can farm and get the materials to do it. It's just like
must also focusing on these big nasty global feats.
Yeah, I mean, I got one for Imperial Troopers done already, and I'm working on the one for Malika. So if I'm gonna have those two in before this JC 3 first week lock in, I'm like, that's good enough, because I've got an ass load of the other ones, so I'm not that particularly worried about it. But get them when you can get them. I'm not gonna spend extra crystals. I'll tell you that much for it, especially with this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm early days. I think I've got one level 9. My first one happens to be Admiral Akbar, My Gear 9 Akbar is not going to really use that one very much, I'll be honest. But I did get my Imperial Trooper one rolling. So I've got the level 1 with the protection up 20% at the start. So that's going to give me a little bit of a TM boosterino, and the level 6 now has got the it's got defense to offense conversion. So I just need to have a little bit more fun with that one. Fine tune a little bit more to get some more defense on there, convert that bad mamma jammer to more offense, and I think we'll be in a good place. I think it'll be sexy.
Yeah, I gotta get 2 Imperial Trooper crowns, because you're gonna get one for your regular Veers team, and then one for your Iden team as well.
Yep. Yeah, I got the one for Iden. I'm working on the other one right now.
Yeah, my only issue with the Iden one is it's kind of weird because it relies on her dropping below 30% of her health. And she's the last person to be attacked. I know you mean for the team. Sorry.
Sorry.
You're not talking about her literal level 9.
I forgot she had a level 9. I'll be completely honest with you. I forgot she had one.
it's a really confusing one. So it's the first time Iden Versio falls below 30% health, she dispels all debuffs on herself, recovers 40% health, and gains a bonus turn. It's like she's the last person to be attacked most of the time because she can't die. Well, she could die, but she just revives, right? So it's like you never tend to focus on her anyway, so why does it matter if she recovers all of her health, dispels the debuffs and stuff?
If you're using her on offense, then sometimes the AI will be dumb and will hard focus her. But even then, it only comes in like once.
Yeah, once.
So if it was every time, then maybe, she gets stunned, she gets dazed, she gets everything, she's out of commission, whatever, cool, she gets a bonus turn and everything, then maybe that's like a huge thing. Over here, it's once.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they'd have made it like Anakin's, gains a bonus turn and deals 100% more damage or something like that.
Oh god.
Then all of a sudden it would be a little bit spicy then. It'd be a little bit spicy. But right now I look at it and I'm like, that's just a little odd. Unless we're looking at it wrong, and this should be for when you want to use Imperial Troopers against Lord Vader. That's what it's for. Throwing her into an Imperial Trooper team, dispelling debuffs, gain a bonus turn. She can then cleanse all the troopers. That's actually pretty cool. I take it back. That's 5v5 only, obviously. So we'll have to wait a month to see if that's even valuable.
On second thought, I disagree with past Scribble, and present Scribble is correct. Fuck past Scribble, the guy's an idiot.
He is a dumbass. God, all of a sudden, Iden Versio level 9 is amazing. I mean, I'm not actually too familiar with the rest of the Imperial Trooper level 9s. I know Stark has got one, hasn't he?
Stark has one. He gets like defense pen. There's Scout has one as well for that's like an extra. I think it's extra damage on the crazy thing that she's doing. There's something else, but the Imp Trooper ones weren't all that ridiculous from what I remember.
No, they're not.
So Scout Trooper, whenever Scout Trooper inflicts a debuff, his precision ability gains 6% bonus damage, maximum of 300% until the end of battle. That's a lot of extra damage. Yeah. Imperial Precision grants Imperial Trooper allies potency up for 1 turn, and Imperial Remnant allies offense up for 1 turn. So I mean, it's good for maintaining TM trains and stuff. It's not bad. It's not bad actually. Truth be told, it's not like world changing, I guess. Stark's one. Colonel Stark critically hits an enemy. He gains 10% crit damage, penetration, and offense, max of 200% till the end of battle. Again, it's like it's okay. I think the best thing about that's not the buff. It's not buffs that he's gaining there. It's just as in
it's just stats.
He's ramping stats, not gaining buffs. If it was he gains 3 buffs, that would be 30% TM at the end of his turn, which that would be kind of cool. I think it's okay. It's better than nothing. But I'm kind of curious with Iden. I wonder how valuable that is actually in using troopers to beat Lord Vader in 5v5. That could happen.
That could be interesting for sure.
We would have to say that. We'd have to science it when time comes. Or you could just try it in Grand Arena, in GAC. in Squad Arena, sorry. I'll eventually get there.
I mean, it's not like Stark is actually a damage powerhouse in any way, shape, or form anyways. No. So extra defense pen, whatever, it just... If he was sharing all of that, then...
that'd be different.
If he was spreading that to the team, then we're talking. Because right now, already in his unique,
Yep.
His unique, when he's active, Imperial Trooper allies gain 50 armor penetration. That's nice. Extra breaking through your opponent's defense, absolutely, that's huge. If he was sharing all of that stuff and it was along the same lines as his unique, I'd be on board. As it is right now, Stark is mostly just there for his unique, and he's not the damage guy. He's just there to hang out and pass some buffs guy.
In before Stark gets a GAC Omicron to start sharing stats.
Oh my god.
Man, cool, Imperial Troopers, they're kind of dropping off a little bit in viability. They still do a lot, but their value feels like it's not as big as it used to be. So they could do with a little bit of an Omicron, spice things up again.
We're comparing Imperial Troopers from a time when you need your Imp Troopers. It needs to be a thing. You need to have amazing speed on Piet so you can counter every single Darth Revan you ever run into. And that was his highest calling. That was Imp Troopers were amazing. They were just doing crazy work over there. And now there's Malgus. So he's no longer killing DR. So it's like Imp Troopers are either killing something much, much lesser than them, or they're cleaning up GLs or cleaning up whatever.
Which they are good at. They're very good at cleaning up.
Which they're good at, yeah. There were some crons where they were killing Lord Vader, where they were killing other things, but overall,
the TM cron, was it the 20% TM at the start was enough to get your Imp Troopers to go first versus Lord Vader, and then Lord Vader's team just didn't take a turn; he just killed them all.
Yeah, it was that one, and then if you had if you had Shock T on the team or something, you would do they would go, and then she would cleanse, and then your whole team would go, and you'd kill. There's a few things where they can do some very good things, but Imp Troopers as a whole, you're absolutely right. They've fallen off a little bit. It's kind of sad to see.
It is sad because I love Punchbot. He's a very entertaining individual. Yeah.
Punchbot is best bot.
He is. He just steps up to people, punches them twice in the sternum, and then their chest flies out of the back of their spine. Exactly. He is. I wouldn't call him One Punch Man because he punches many times. But
all right, let's not get crazy. Yeah.
All right, he's Two Punch Man because he steps over and goes. And people just lose the will to live. No.
So it's 8 punch men. Okay. 8 punch
He's
men.
multiple punching man.
Multiple man punching more than once. Yeah. It's Mike Tyson's Iron Mike. Yeah, it's Iron Mike. Imp Troopers strangely need a speed booster or a new character that functions like Han Watt to go first in battle. I mean, the thing is you have. It's a very delicate game, isn't it, with Imp Troopers?
Yeah.
Because as soon as it's a very the border between Imp Troopers destroys everything and Imp Troopers just can't do enough is very narrow. You give them a bonus turn at the start of battle, it's over. They kill everything. Well, they don't kill JMK, but he will just kill Lord Vader. He'll probably kill Jabba teams. It's like you got to be real careful with how you balance Imp Troopers, I feel.
We're saying right now, we got the protection up crons. And the protection up on the dark side is a buff. So it gives them 10%. That's something that can unlock new counters. It's not game changing. It's not going to give them, oh god, they can counter the entire world now. But that 10% is sometimes the difference between them killing a team or not killing a team. If some of the stuff we've seen in the past, like with where people were cheesing with Shock T, where she's granting turn meter and killing things, there's a, as Scribbly put that exactly right, there's a fine line. Fine line. Sorry, great song. The fine line between them doing nothing and then just annihilating everything in sight.
Yeah. And whilst it is fun to see.
Avenue Q, if anybody doesn't know. Amazing musical. Sorry, we're off topic over here, but fine line song from the musical. It's such a good one. Holy crap!
It's all good.
If anybody has not seen Avenue Q, it's basically they were inspired by South Park to write a musical. So yeah, put that into perspective.
Yeah. Tormentos. Will the new Night Troopers be added to the game? I imagine we will see some Ahsoka content. But yeah, like Ranger says,
6 to
it's going to
9
be a
months.
while yet. You know, CG is only just
spring.
now getting around to Mando season 3 content coming to the game, so
It'll be the spring.
that should give you an idea of the lead time. You know, yeah.
Be
And I'd
ready
love
for
to
it.
see him. You know, get Epoch
Yo.
in the game, get the night troopers in the game. You know,
No spoilers, but
no spoilers,
this last episode, yeah.
there's
I
some
want
things
some
that
Night
we could
Troopers.
see. I not just
Oh, yes.
night troopers though, not just the night troopers. I mean, there's some pretty cool shit there. They can make a whole faction there, just out of that last episode alone. I feel like, again, no spoilers, but I think they can make a whole team out of just what we see in the last episode. So, yeah, I'm hyped. I can't wait. Overall, high level opinions on Ahsoka's with no spoilers, please, guys. What are your thoughts overall as a series?
I already gave my spoiler review on my channel. I gave it overall 4.25 out of 5 as a rating.
Okay. Yeah.
Really, really good. If I had to rank them, I'd still think Andor's still my favorite. Right behind those two is Mando season 2 and then Ahsoka this season. Really,
Okay.
I mean, episode 5 and 6 for me were some of the best Star Wars. It's just phenomenal, and I loved it. So, yeah, really good score for me. For Ahsoka, I enjoyed the hell out of this show. Not perfect, but doesn't need to be.
No.
It gave me enough
Absolutely not
great Star Wars feels, and I really, really loved it.
There was a lot of fan service there. Wolfie?
I think that high level, I need to actually steal a review from a YouTube comment, whatever that was, had reviewed, watched, whatever, a while back, and it was basically quoting Balin at some point, where Balin says he's talking. This was like episode 5 or something. He's talking about the Jedi and this everything. You know, I like the idea of the Jedi. The idea of the Jedi was something that was strong, that was good, but just the execution of it, the everything about over there, I think it sort of missed the mark, and that was like Balin's whole thing with that. And I think that sort of does hold true for the series as a whole. I like the idea of the Ahsoka show, but just so many things about it kind of fell a little bit short for me. And while I appreciate all the references and everything, it almost felt like it was a little bit too much of shiny objects and whatnot over here. You know, just as an example, this isn't a spoiler, but the name of the final episode was the witch reference to the
Line
the
the Witch
Witch in the wardrobe of C.S. Lewis and everything. There was so many just like shiny object references things that it almost felt like they were trying to reference too many things as opposed to trying to just build up Star Wars. So I liked a lot of things about this season, about the show. I like a lot of things about it, but a lot of things really did fall short. Specifically, the Shin story specifically, I think those two, I think that they could have done a lot better for. But we'll see where they go in the future with that.
I mean, they've confirmed a second season now, haven't they? It's been greenlit already. From what I understand as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was just saying, unfortunately, this is with the knowledge that Ray Stevenson is no longer with us. So
yes, yeah, which is huge. The entire show, in my opinion, I think his scenes, he stole the scene in every single scene he was in. Phenomenal performance, I felt. From Ray Stevenson. I always looked forward to any scene he was in. I was just like, he was composed, intimidating.
Yeah.
And it, you know, he felt very, like he was so sure of himself in every single scene.
He felt so authentic, so genuine, so like this guy just, he knows what he's fucking doing.
Yeah, exactly. He was just like unwavering. And you're like, wow, okay, that guy was fucking cool. I liked it. He killed it in every scene. So it's a massive loss, obviously. It's a big shame. And I don't know how Star Wars is going to deal with that exactly, but well, I guess we will see. From what I've heard, season 2 of Ahsoka is supposed to come before the feature movie that we're supposedly getting as well.
Yeah, man.
So
season 4 and this season of the second season of Ahsoka build up to the movie. So yeah,
gotcha. Yeah, what you saying?
I'm
Are you
happy
telling
with
me
it.
we're
More
not
Star
getting
Wars
Book
for
of
me.
Boba Fett season 2? Is that not
no,
happening?
Now, good
Damn.
riddance.
I would be
I-
okay with the season 2 actually, because if you hear like
Only if they get
end,
medieval.
well, that's the thing. At the end, in the finale, like very very much at the end, Boba like made some comment to Fennec, like, "Hey, this really isn't for me. You know, this has got to be passed on to them. This is like really." He acknowledges at the end of that season that this was not really like Boba. Like this was not really his deal, and he was sort of acknowledging that he needs to go on like and do a different thing and move on from that shit. So if they have a Boba Unhinged season 2,
Yeah.
I'm in.
All they need to do is they need to get him in a time machine and go back to season 2 of Mando and give me that Boba. I want that Boba. A whole
God, it was
season
perfect.
of him just being an unadulterated badass
Yeah, just
in
him
every
running
single
around
scene.
beating the shit out of people with a gaffy stick. I'll watch
He
it.
was
But
perfect.
they didn't do that.
Exactly. Him threatening the other Mandos. Like said what did he said something like it might be the last time you insult me or something like that. I can't remember what he said, but it was just like it was cold. It was cold as
It was
fuck. I was like, yeah.
perfect. That was Boba. It was it. Done. Just
Yeah,
do that.
Yeah. I don't know how they went from Boba in season 2 of Mando to what we got. I don't know how they made that transition.
I don't
Right?
know.
It was just
Man,
like
I like the stuff in the first part of Boba Fett, like that very Dance with Wolves with the Tuscans and everything that happened there.
Mhm.
Great. I ate that up. The second part, I was like, huh? What? I thought we were getting a gangster movie. What is this? You know,
Yeah.
it's just it didn't hit for me. So yeah, it's just oh god. The Book of Boba Fett
I mean,
didn't hit.
it says
the way I
a
wanted
lot
it
when the
to.
best episodes were just the ones with no Boba in. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, let's watch Mando season 2.5.
Yeah, I mean that was great Mando stuff. Book of Boba.
I don't know, man. Like, I've got a lot of respect for Temuera Morrison. I'd like to see him
Oh yeah.
continue to make cameos and appearances, and I want to see him
Sure.
back as Boba. I
Just
do.
like Hayden Christensen. You know, Hayden
Absolutely.
Christensen in this season of Suck was incredible, and I'm beyond happy for that. You know,
Oh, yeah.
to see him.
Both for the
But-
character and for the actor.
Oh God,
I want to
Hayden
say,
Christensen.
like, for the actor himself, I think a lot of the stuff was really big. Like, the Jar Jar actor getting the scene in Kenobi.
Yep.
Hayden Christensen being
Kelleran Beck,
welcomed.
isn't that's his character?
Yeah, Kelleran Beck. Yeah. Hayden Christensen being welcomed back with open arms by the whole Star Wars community. That it's big for them, like just personally as actors themselves, aside from the characters. Because I love the characters, yeah, but as themselves, that's huge. Because they got so much shit. when the
for
prequels
years
released.
and years
Oh
and years.
god.
And you got to think about it as well, because it's not like they filmed that and then it went live straight away. They like Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen and everything. They must have filmed those films like a year or 2 years before it even hit the cinema. So they lived this life and all this expectation about, wow, we're in Star Wars, man. This is so cool. And then it comes out and people are just like shitting all over them from a great height. You'll never live down sand, will he? Hayden Christensen for the rest of his life.
Oh my god.
Well, he has now, between what he did in Kenobi and this show. Yeah, people ain't thinking about that shit anymore. He came correct in these two shows, and it was fantastic to see. You know, and you can say whatever you want about Kenobi, but the scene with him and Ewan in that final fight scene is just yum yum.
Hayden has slayed it as Vader.
Yeah, and him and Ahsoka, man. Him and Ahsoka, man. God damn, tinglies all over. Every time he was on the screen,
again,
I was like,
again, this is no spoilers or anything, but man, kind of puts people to shame still, as far as combat skills go. You see him on stage and you're like, holy shit. Yeah, Hayden Christensen, fuck me, man. He's still got it. He's still fucking got it, dude.
We were saying that Balin stole the show in whatever scene he was in. Again, we're gonna, I guess, it's not really that much spoilery. It's been how many weeks since those?
It's an older episode.
It's an older episode. It still checks out. When you see like the Balin versus Ahsoka fight, and then compare that to the Ahsoka versus Anakin fight, and you're like, whoa, Anakin, bro, okay, this dude slaps. This is amazing. What is happening? I love it.
The funny thing is you watch that fight in the World Between Worlds, and you can actually see that Hayden wants to go harder. He wants to go like he's against you, and he wants to properly go for it, and he's pulling his attacks. You could see it. You're like, he's got the technique, he's got the fluidity, but he's like slowly tapping the blade instead of like fucking hammering, And it's like, what could have been? What could have been if they'd have just let him go ham, Because it was great. And it's not just about his technique. It's like, it's the emotion and physicality that he puts into the performance during the fight. You can feel it. You can feel it when he's there. He's got that presence, hasn't he, as Vader? Especially the second fight towards the end of the episode. Like,
God. Time to die. It's like
when he whips out the red saber, and you're like, okay, shit just got real.
Yep.
Oh baby.
And that little transition as he's coming through the smoke. Flickering between himself and Vader in the costume. It's like, I think I peed a little.
Chills. Just
they had so much fun doing that episode, I guarantee.
I will say, I thought the fog was a bit of a cop-out, so they didn't have to actually make the scenery and everything. Oh, let's just put everything in fog because it's a memory.
Nobody will notice.
The World Between Worlds, and it's all clouded.
I didn't mind it all.
It's a bit of a cop-out.
Nah,
if I'm being nitpicky, but
for me,
a bit of a cop-out.
What worked for me in those scenes was the interaction, and what they focused on was Anakin and Ahsoka, and that's what mattered to me. I mean, I saw that critique. I'm like, oh, maybe, but it wouldn't have. It would have been cool to have some background more into it, but I was like, I only cared about that scene, that interaction between those two characters, and that young girl that played young Ahsoka.
She killed it.
Oh my,
she killed it.
God, Jesus!
If the budget went towards de-aging Hayden Christensen better rather than backgrounds, then I'm okay with that. Actually, if I'm looking through that lens, I'm okay.
That's definitely like it's a great episode, that one, because it really touches on some quite dark material. Really,
it does.
You saw like Ahsoka was young. All the Jedi
She was a
Padawans-
child.
She was a child.
They were all
and
children.
She was a fucking teenager. Yeah.
And they're going out into war, and they have to deal with this burden of guilt of all the soldiers that are following her orders, or following her into battle, and are dying. And it's like, kids shouldn't have to live through that, man.
Through. No, I mean, and it was a great episode that really switched her character, because she had what had been holding her back was her not wanting to be tempted by the dark side or train somebody. That's why she wouldn't train Grogu, because that fear. She saw what happened. She even says it. Or Sabine, because Sabine had ulterior motives, which she should have after the Night of 1,000 Tears.
It's understandable.
Why they were learning the but Anakin kind of got that out of her, with all this, and I loved it, and I thought it was some of the best Star Wars, that we've seen in recent days with the shows and stuff. So
they unloaded some of her baggage. She had baggage. Really did.
She had to face that trauma. She had to face that trauma and deal with it. And who better than
100%.
her master to
you gotta have it in
one
the
more
TV series. So
she needed to face it head on instead of just sort of skirting it. And skirting your problem is not the best way. You got to face it head on, and if you can't deal with it, then you just got to fucking do it. Just man up or whatever, or woman up or whatever, and just do your thing.
All right,
I liked it. It was good. To Gruder up. Yep.
I got to get going here, guys, and get some painting done. Is there anything else we wanted to cover today?
Anything you want to say before you leave? No, absolutely
not much. I'm just going out to get high on paint again.
BS session.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. I gotta go out there and do some more painting. So, but as soon as I get it done, the sooner it's done, the sooner I don't have to mess with it. But the only thing is, 31st, I'll do a Mando costume stream for Halloween. We have another charity stream coming out.
Oh, nice. When's that?
We have, I don't know yet. We're working out the date for that. It's not going to be 24-hour, it'll be like a 12-hour stream. So we're working on the date for that. And then February 1st to the 4th, we're going to get together in Orlando, Florida, because we're going to be going to MegaCon for our ACS wrap up. So if you want to come join us, we have a channel on Discord. Love to have you. We're going to have a whole bunch of events planned and things to do. I know people have been interested, but if you are and you want to get the information, if you're in the Florida area, you want to come down. I will be again in the full costume. You can come get your picture taken, and I'm going to be running around MegaCon in the full Beskar costume and stuff. So that'll be February 1st to the 4th. So just join our Discord and go to the MegaCon 2024 Discord channel, and yeah. And
if you want to get your pickle signed by
Yeah.
Ranger, that's the opportunity. Get your pickles out, guys. Get your pickles out.
that's the time. Get your pickles.
The one time you can ask Ranger to sign your pickle.
The one time say pickle. That's right.
Yeah.
And by pickle, I mean
No, that sounds
pickle.
awesome, dude. Well, obviously.
So,
Yeah, obviously.
yeah.
No, thank you so much for joining us
Well.
today. It's a short notice, Ranger. Really do appreciate you coming around,
Yeah.
hanging out with the rest of us. It's always good to have you, buddy.
Love hanging out with all you guys. Yeah, good to hang
Much
out. So
appreciated.
off to get high I go. Yay!
Woo! Pay
I know that
fumes.
feeling.
Guys in a
what?
mental state later. Yeah.
Woo!
All right, y'all.
Ranger,
Salute.
as
I will
always.
see y'all later.
Cheers, buddy. I'm going to move you over here and then grab you and move you over here and fiddle with you a little bit to make you look. Oh,
Oh,
look
baby.
how. Oh, ooh.
Ooh, baby. God.
I feel like you
We
still
got
need to
we got
be
my zombie in the
more-
background.
Zombie, zombie, zombie. Hey, hey,
Eh.
what's in your
Hey.
Oh, and now we lost half of the subscriber base of
There
the
we go.
podcast.
Done.
Sorry
Like
about that,
these
guys.
Jackasses trying to sing with stream delays, thinking it's a thing. No.
Badly. Yeah, nerds singing badly with a delay. That's what everybody wants. No, but yeah,
Actually,
there's
do
been
not-
some
do not-
good shit.
Do not be so hard on yourself, Mr. Scribble. You have a wonderful singing voice. I will not hear you trashing
Aw.
yourself and say nothing
Thank you.
about it.
Oh,
Jackass.
you jackass!
Jackass.
You will not make this shot, jackass! Oh man, I love Happy Gilmore.
So good. Oh, so
yeah.
good. Man, he's got
Um,
some great fucking movies.
He does. I like the old ones best, but stuff like Grown Ups is a good film. I enjoy Grown Ups. But yeah. What I was going to say, yeah, so Ahsoka for me, because I never really gave my own roundup, I thought Ahsoka was a solid
Yes,
show.
please.
I thought it was a solid show overall. I think my biggest issue is no, it's not my biggest issue. I have a certain amount of issue with the fight choreography in the film, TV series.
Okay.
Because it's not bad for the most part. It's not bad, but you can tell it's a bit sluggish, and they don't it feels a little bit slow at times, and it feels like it needed a little bit more time to practice to get that fluidity going for the most part. Like I said, when I was talking about Anakin's scene with Ahsoka and their combat, you can see that Anakin himself, or Hayden Christensen himself, still has that capability, still has that skill. The way he handled that blade, ooh, baby. He knew how to do it, right? But he's restricted by, and I'm not throwing shade at Rosario Dawson here, but she doesn't have that same level of physicality to her. And I feel like it would have benefited just for me to have that little bit more oomph coming out of the combat. Otherwise, as a whole, I enjoyed the season. I thought it was a bit slow at the start, picked up well.
I don't want to throw any shade at Rosario Dawson. I think she's doing a great job as Ahsoka. I think that she works as the older Ahsoka pretty well.
So do I.
But yeah, you're not wrong. Somebody was saying earlier in chat actually sort of about this, and her compared to her in the Clone Wars and her compared to her in Rebels and everything. Yeah, she doesn't seem like she has the same power level, so to say, in terms of her fighting capabilities and everything.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That it's almost a factor of just how they created her in the cartoon, because she's a very acrobatic fighter. She is spinning, she is jumping, she is flipping, she is moving around so much. I mean, that sort of style is not easy to really replicate in live action.
It's so easy to do in animation.
Yeah. a fierce in your face, like beating somebody down, like aggressive stance, that is really easy to replicate in live action. But in her completely acrobatic, unless you get somebody who's rough.
I don't think there's really anybody that's going to, in live action, be able to emulate Ahsoka from animation. It's not going to happen. It's like that's too difficult to make it look realistic and look good. So I think they did. I think they did the best with the situation that they had. It at times it still felt a little bit sluggish, and I do felt as the seasons got on, as the episodes progressed, the lightsaber combat got better. So there is that.
Yes,
stunt double, even a stunt double. Of course I've watched old Chinese kung fu movies, but you don't want a whole bunch of wire works and stuff like that. The flips that Ahsoka does in the animation shows are just kind of nutty, to be honest.
It's just it's not real. It's not realistically possible in the realm of everything. The budget, like you said, it's a ton of wire work. It's a ton of everything. They would need to CGI everything. The amount of stuff they would need to make it to make it look realistic or good. It's too much.
Yeah. But I mean that's why in the last episode there's another lightsaber fight with a particular character, and she is an actual kung fu practitioner. So
yes,
her fights, she holds herself very well. Her foot movement is really good. You can tell she knows how to properly enact a choreographed fight, and it was done really well, I actually think. So I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of that in the entire season. So it's but that's a very I don't want to degrade an entire season down to the combat performance, because there's so much more that goes into making a series enjoyable than just fight scenes, obviously.
Because even within the fight scenes, because I thought the fight scenes themselves, even if the choreography wasn't perfect, even if the execution wasn't perfect, I liked a lot of things about those fight scenes. You think about the fight in the woods between Ahsoka versus Merrick and Sabine versus Shin. That was beautiful. The staging over there, how that worked, the master versus apprentice and going off to fight over there, and the reveal with Merrick. I thought a lot of those things were done really, really well. Ahsoka choosing a single bladed, a very, very kendo samurai sort of style. I thought that was very picturesque. They did a lot of those things very, very well, even if the execution of the lightsaber combat was not always flawless, as you pointed out.
Yeah. No, it's true, and I'm hoping that things will get it. But I know this might get me a little bit of hate my way, but
do it.
The prequels have obviously got some really good lightsaber duels, right? Some really phenomenal ones. But in my opinion, a lot of what you see in the prequels fights is just kind of dumb. There's so many flourishes and useless movements in them that it's actually bordering ridiculous. A lot of it is good. A lot of it is really bloody good. But there is so much of it that's I'm just gonna wave my lightsaber behind my back and stop a blade that I have got absolutely no leverage to actually stop a lightsaber behind my back, but I'm going to do it anyway. All that would realistically happen is you would impale yourself in the back when you try to do that. And Anakin and Obi-Wan standing right in front of each other, just going, not even touching each other. What the fuck is that about? For 6 seconds, you're like, guys.
So, all right, real quick. Them not touching each other, I thought that was kind of funny. I thought that was a nice homage to a master and apprentice kind of thing. Because the two of them have trained so much together that they should be anticipating each other's actions within their own training forms. So if one is doing this and then switches to this and then goes to attack this, and them continuously missing each other, I think it's fucking hilarious. Because it's like they're doing their whole training formation, and I'm doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, and then they both just say fuck it, and then just meet blades at the same time. I think that actually worked pretty well for me.
I'll be honest. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but you watch it they're not even trying to hit each other. They're not even trying to feint. They literally stand in a stock still position. Not even the swing is not even trying to hit. They're just going like this.
Oh, I know.
It's like
So
it's not how combat works. It's not how combat works at all.
I did fencing in high school, so I was a sport fencer. Did a lot of saber combat, all sorts of that sort of stuff. And you would do like certain training motions where you parry this and riposte with this and combat with this, and you would like get through these sort of motions. You would go through with your master, whoever was teaching you. And if you are then need to go to the next level, and you then anticipate things, and instead of doing this, you then feint and parry and feint in this and feint, and you try and anticipate the other's actions. So you draw out a blade and draw out this, and your attack is not meant to do damage. It's meant to draw out their parry, which then you will take advantage of and go around them and do this, which then draws out something else. And it's like an incredibly overdone training montage, which just fails horrifically. And I, as somebody who's done like sport fencing, it just works for me. Something about that like little scene, it's so silly, it's so ridiculous, it just works for me. I don't know. I don't know why. It just does.
But yeah, the point I'm trying to make. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No. To your point. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Anakin versus Dooku, where they're just like spinning around, and I got 2 blades, and my back is to you, and we're spinning and we're twirling. We're doing. That was the epitome of just flash over substance. Kind of lightsaber combat, and
it's just 100%. a little too much. A little too much. So what the point I'm trying to make is like I like to have a well choreographed fight. I think it's entertaining. It's great to watch and stuff. But I think you can go too far in one direction that it just becomes completely unrealistic. And I think the sequel trilogy went for something that was supposed to feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit heavier hitting, not finessed at all. But they also did some stupid shit in that combat. Like Rise of Skywalker with Ben Solo holding the blade behind his back, bending over to stop an attack that he waits about 3 seconds for when he's fighting the Knights of Ren. It's like... what the fuck are you doing? Who put the choreographer who thought, you know what, and now I think Ben Solo will just bend over and hold his lightsaber behind his back and wait for someone to hit it. Yeah. What are you doing? Why are you doing this?
And this person is going to see the lightsaber there and is not going to change their angle of their attack, and instead going to hit the lightsaber instead of the exposed backside of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, it's just it's literally the smallest piece of material on Kylo Ren as a whole. They're gonna instead of hitting him just like in the side of the torso, that would work. No, I'm gonna skim it gently over the top of his back.
Yes, perfect, flawless,
without even enough force to make the lightsaber dip a little bit and sever his spine.
Yeah, it doesn't deflect even slightly. It's there. It's fine. Nope.
Like. There are parts of lightsaber combat in the sequel trilogy that is actually okay in my opinion, but there's some of it is just like it's just kind of stupid. But hey,
there's some stuff which is done very well, and there's some stuff which is just okay.
What I did like is the lightsabers in the sequel trilogy. I thought were really cool because like when they ignited, you could feel it. The presence of the lightsaber was very much there. Like, ignited it. It was angry. It was loud. It felt heavy. And I thought that was good.
Kylo Ren specifically, had that, that hum,
crackling almost.
Like, that feel. Yeah, exactly. Like, it was... Like, this lightsaber was fucking angry. It had, a mind of its own, and it was going to cause some damage to whatever came in contact with it. Even if all it was the fucking air. That air... how dare you? How dare you occupy the same space as me?
That air's gonna get it. Yeah. There was definitely things that I liked about it, but I'm very picky when it comes to fight scenes and choreography. I usually like things that are quite brutish. And you can feel the impact. So for me, the epitome of a really good fight scene is the hallway scene in Daredevil season 1 of the Netflix Daredevil season.
Oh my god, that was so good.
That is just
I
like
fucking love that Daredevil.
gritty,
Oh man,
dark,
thank you, Scrap.
painful.
Oh, thank
and
you.
and it's like you watch that fight scene and it's a big one take in two corridors essentially, but it's like Daredevil is not some invincible superhero. He's a guy getting his ass kicked. He's taking as much hits as he's getting, but he just keeps on getting up. And it's just like he's knackered by the end of it. He's just completely out of energy. And it's like, I watch that scene and it gives me chills. Just like, that is a fucking fight scene. Give me something like that any day.
It's raw. It's got that feeling. It's just, 100%. It connects.
You know what reminds me of it? To a certain extent, is the finale of season 2 of Mandalorian. Except Luke is just an unstoppable monster. Because that's basically a hallway scene in Star Wars, right? He just goes in and he just eviscerates all the Dark Troopers. Fucking cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking cool. Any day. That's what I like to see when it comes to fight scenes. Obviously, Daredevil is a lot darker, and like R-rated compared to Star Wars, which will never really be R-rated. They might have some off-spins, but nothing mainstream is going to be R-rated in Star Wars.
Yeah. They've had opportunities and just no spoilers for this last episode.
no spoilers. No, but
they've had opportunities.
Man, I'm just reminiscing because I don't know if you watched the Wolfie, but Loki season 2 just came out.
I've not seen it yet.
I watched the first episode today. It's a pretty solid start, but I really liked Loki season 1. And
season 1 was great.
It just got me thinking that I don't know if to me it feels like the MCU and the TV series they're taking a little bit of a nosedive in quality in recent years. Like Endgame was like fucking peak. Infinity War, Endgame, incredible, man. Like best time to be a fucking nerd. Like so cool. But since then, it felt like that they just tried to like ramp production. Oh yeah. Oh god,
the whole journey from Iron Man, like Robert Downey Jr. and everything, starting that shit off, following that whole progression from Iron Man over to Endgame, like growing up with that, like living through all of that. That was a hell of a progression. And I definitely see what you mean with the newer, the current stage of the Marvel stuff.
I've fallen off some good stuff. My enjoyment has fallen off, but like for me, like I'm a massive Spider-Man simp. So No Way Home came out, fucking loved it, every single second of it,
I love this,
and I don't care. I'm like completely biased, and I cannot be objective when it comes to Spider-Man. So like I fucking loved No Way Home, right? And even some of the seasons, like, you know, like I actually liked WandaVision as a whole as a season. Not every episode did I like, but as a whole, I really enjoyed it. Loki, I enjoyed it. Captain America and and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's the one I'm going for.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot to like in that. But then you start getting into some of the other stuff, and it's like it feels like the magic is kind of lost. And it makes me sad, right? It makes me sad that you see that quality dip. And it made me think, when Loki came out, how Daredevil and those TV series, sure, not all of them were great, the Netflix ones, but Daredevil in particular, I really fucking miss Charlie Cox's Daredevil in that dark, gruesome, like Wilson Fisk decapitating a man with a car door. Oh my God. Like, that was just, I remember watching that, like, holy shit. My jaw hit the fucking floor. I was like, that is cool. Punisher, another hallway scene in prison where he's about to get shanked by everybody. And he just comes out, he beats the living shit out of, like, what, 12, 13, 14 guys? Oh! Don't get it anymore. I love it.
It was real. It was just, that shit hit home. Yeah. It hit hard, and it was beautiful.
I don't know if there has ever been better casting for the Punisher than John Bernthal. Like,
amazing.
Wow. And Thrawnhub in the chat over here, David Tennant in Jessica Jones as Kilgrave. incredible, terrifying villain. Probably the worst supervillain name I've ever heard, Killgrave. What a terrible fucking name that is. But his performance in it, he was scary, man. Like, oh my God. And he was just, oh God, yeah, loved it. And it just makes me miss those days, man. It makes me miss those days
awesome.
Because Tennant is and I mean, Hu Yang.
Hu Yang. Bro, I love his sassy Hu Yang. He is so sassy and so fantastic. Oh, man.
Absolutely.
It's just an old Doctor Who fan, but haven't watched recently, but good times. Love the series. Love it. Chris, preaching to the choir over here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, he was great as Hu Yang, to be fair. He was really good. And it's only towards the end of the season that I started hearing David Tennant, for Ahsoka. Because he was obviously always there, but I felt like I got a little bit more of his personality in towards the end of Ahsoka, and that was nice. So, yeah, cool. Anyway, Wolfie, we've hit the 2-hour mark. Is there anything else you want to bring up for discussion? Since though, 50% of this Swigger podcast has been absolutely not Swigger.
Nah, I was going to bring up this rye over here, actually, for discussion.
Absolutely.
Aside from that, Swiggo, I think we're pretty much... We're pretty much tapped out. We've hit all the main marks, and what are we missing? Somebody chat, remind me. We missed something. We had to have missed something.
We
missed nothing.
We don't miss nothing. No.
Nah.
It's been good.
I don't know.
It's been good.
What are we gotta be missing something. We'll figure it out next week. You know what?
We'll catch up next week
for the next Tribe Talks.
Yeah. Exactly. For the next time. All right. Once again, Wolfie, my co-host, thank you so much. Have a sip for old Carthrick. He's poor, sickly, and in bed. Bless his little cotton socks. Even Carthrick becomes sick. But once again, thank you, Ranger J, for joining us today. Big love, y'all. We'll be back live once again next Sunday for another podcast. Make sure you come join us. If not, you can listen to us on Spotify and iTunes and all good podcast hosting websites if Scribble actually remembers to upload the episode. Peace out, guys. Big love.